3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and afternoon hours only on Tuesday from 3 to 7:30 p.m. Center of Life is there for you. Center of Life is closed on weekends and Thursdays. Center of Life accepts all major credit cards and uses the honor system so you pay what you can afford. What an amazing difference they will make in you today. Center of Life. Make an adjustment to your life today. Center of Life is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
Experimentation is part of the fun of gardening. Saving seeds from your favorite flower for next year's garden or even the next generation is something you might like to try. Hi, I'm Melinda Myers, horticulturist and gardening expert. Keep in mind that all flowers will not come true from seed. Hybrids and those pollinated by the wind or insects may produce offspring unlike the parent plant. But the surprise offspring can add to the fun. Use heirloom or older varieties when looking for consistency. Timing is critical. The seeds, not the flower, need to be full-sized and mature. This is usually when the seed pod that houses the seeds turns brown and brittle. Collect the seed heads and separate the seeds from the pod. Store in an airtight container in the refrigerator. Label a container with the name of the plant and the year it was collected. This will make spring planting go much easier. Check out our website for this and other gardening tips.
We interrupt our regular programming to bring you this special Cool Oldies 1450 sports presentation.
All right, it's game day. You only got one job to do. That's win. That means you stay focused for 4 quarters. Know your assignments and finish on every play. Don't be looking for shortcuts and don't even think about making excuses. Because if you want the W, you're going to have to earn it.
It's Thursday Night Lights from Linganore High School, and you'll have a hard time finding a better game happening across the area than right here. The Linganore Lancers are 2-0, hosting the 2-0 Walkersville Lions, a battle of undefeateds in Week 3 of the high school football season. Great to have you with us. I'm Ryan Pierce here from Frederick County, Maryland, alongside me, Coach Rick Little. Coach, there are a few matchups quite as good as this one, I think, in the area this weekend. Veteran teams, lots of offensive talent. Combined, they have been blowing out their opponents so far this season.
Yeah, both of them, this will be their first true test of the season. Dominated their opponents. Walkersville has given up 14 points. Linganore has yet to surrender a single point. Something's got to give tonight with these two outstanding offenses facing these great defenses. Sooner or later, somebody's going to break through on the offensive side of the ball.
Both explosive offenses. It's been the calling card for Walkersville this year. They like to keep the ball on the ground with 4 rushing touchdowns in Week 1. They did that again last week against Poolesville, winning 51-0. They have a 3 or 4 running back combination. They spread the ball around in that backfield.
Yeah. Conversely, we'll see Linganore come in with one dominant running back, Ethan Arneson. Walkersville does it by committee. You know, where Ethan might get 30 carries, Walkersville will split it up between their 3 key running backs, DeMarcus Ross, Bennett, and then Mason Clark will round out those 3. So we'll have to keep our eyes open as they switch running backs almost every other play.
You brought up the player to watch for the Lancers, Ethan Aronson. We're talking about a guy over 1,500 yards last season. He's averaging about 9 yards per touch this year. He is unbelievable. It's a really talented offense, and he is the motor that makes them go on the running side.
Yep, and when you look at the young man, you say, how does he do it? Strength, instincts, but yeah, he'll make people miss. He has great patience. He'll hide behind that big offensive line sometimes and then burst through. And I'll tell you what, if he gets a full head of steam and you're a running back, a defensive back trying to bring him down, you better wrap on because he's going to straight arm you and knock you away.
So last time these two teams met, Linganore came away with the W, but it was close. A QB sack on 3rd and 10, and then a pass breakup on 4th down and 20, with under 2 minutes left to go in the game last year. Sealed it 24-21. Linganore won on September 16th of last year, so almost exactly 1 year ago. These are two teams that bring back a lot of senior talent, so they remember that game very clearly.
Indeed. And, if you asked each of the teams, they'd say this is not their rivalry game, but it is a boundary battle.
Sure.
They actually, the line that separates the which school you go to is right across Route 75 there. So these kids know each other. They grew up playing youth football against each other. Some of them probably even played on the other team just because of their location. And then two veteran coaches that do an outstanding job year after year after year. Walkersville's Joe Polis and Rick Connor from Linganore. You're going to have a great football game when those men are coaching your team.
And we talk about run, great coaching, guts and determination might be the key to this game when you have the talent on the ground and the coaching staff these two teams have. Arnson, for example, shredded Walkersville last year on the ground, finishing with 170 yards. This blows my mind. 34 carries, the amount of touches he had.
Yes,
yeah.
Like I said, he's got to get them all. Walkersville by committee, but he has over 300 yards already this season, Arneson, in 2 football games. So I think the game plan's got to be, if you're Walkersville, you're going to try to contain Arneson enough to force Christian Petrozzoli, who's a D1 recruit going to Bucknell, to pass the football. And then they got some weapons on the outside there. Hatman is a sprinter. They have a big tight end. At Walkersville, on the other side, they need to kind of mix things up. And if I'm Linganore, I'm going to really force the ball into quarterback Gavin Hughes' hands and make him make plays and shut down that running game. Now, what we saw last year is Linganore consistently 7-8 men in the box to stop the running game, force them to pass the football. I expect to see some of the same tonight. Actually, both teams 7-8 men in the box to stop the running game, to try to make them, each team, a little one-dimensional, if at all possible.
You mentioned Gavin Hughes and Christian Petrozello, two great quarterbacks. Petrozello going to Bucknell. It'll be fun to watch him play as we're getting close to the national anthem here. That's another big storyline of this matchup. Two talented quarterbacks. Hughes obviously bounced around a little bit. He's taken over the starting role for Walkersville. Petrozello is just an absolute star in the making. Going to play D1 next year.
Yep.
Looks like we do have the national anthem. We'll go to it on the field right now on Cool Oldies 1450.
Are you looking for an expert mechanic you can trust? One that has excellent service at a fair price? Then you're looking for Catoctin Mountain Motorsports, conveniently located at 609 East Main Street in Thurmont. Catoctin Mountain Motorsports is a family-owned full-service repair shop specializing in dirt bikes, UTVs, ATVs, and more. Or, if your thing is more on-road, check out the broad range of automotive and motorcycle makes and models Catoctin Mountain Motorsports can service. Don't ignore that check engine light. Catoctin Mountain Motorsports will read the code free and get you an appointment right away. That's Catoctin Mountain Motorsports. On-road or off-road, 2 wheels or 4. Take a ride to the mountain.
Who let the dogs out? When you let your dogs out, they come back stinky and dirty. Dirty Dog Self-Service Dog Wash solves those messy bathrooms or utility room cleanup disasters you hate. Take your dog up to Thurmont Plaza, the Dirty Dog Dog Wash, and you'll be greeted by trained vet tech and owner Becky Clark, who will provide you with your own fun, safe, simple, and effective self-service kiosk for only $15 per wash. They stock all the top-of-the-line products to help you do the job right. Tired of clogged drains from hairy pets and nasty dog hair cleanup mess? You live on a farm where the dogs get really dirty? Dirty Dog Dog Wash Self-Service will have your dog thanking you for a wonderful spa day experience. Check out the website at Quarterbreak.com. And don't forget, they have great boutique pet supplies, food, and nail trimming services. Open Wednesday through Friday, noon to 6. And Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed on Monday and Tuesday. Don't let that dirty dog in your clean house. Head over to Dirty Dog Dog Wash today.
Thursday Night Lights from Linganore High School, Walkersville and Linganore. It's brought to you by Catoctin Mountain Motorsports, Center of Life Chiropractic, Emmitsburg Tattoo, local realtor Sandy Burns of Klein Properties, Cousins Ace Hardware, Kelco Plumbing, Thermont American Legion Post 168, Thermont Country Kitchen, and Tool in Hand. Big thanks to all our sponsors. Of course, we cannot be here without you. And we are excited to be here. Ryan Pierce, Coach Rick Little. Coach, going to be an exciting game tonight between the Lions and the Lancers. The Linganore Lancers at 2-0. The Walkersville Lions at 2-0. Two great teams, two veteran-loaded teams. And it is a picture-perfect night for high school football. The sun is out, temperatures in the mid to low 70s. It could not be any better.
Couldn't be better. And then when we start watching the football game, Ryan, you'll see both programs run similar offenses and defenses. They'll switch between an even front defense, go to an odd front, depends on what the opponent runs, and then both teams run the shotgun formation, typically with one back in the backfield along with the quarterback, and then they'll bring people back in motion. They'll even bring a fullback in to lead. So it's almost like watching each other on tape, and it's like, well, we do that, and we do that. And you talk to Coach Joe Polis, he goes, you know what? There's just no secrets. Sure. You know, when they play each other, they know exactly what to expect. It's just the execution. And we always talk about in high school football, who's going to make the less mistakes. And like Coach Polis said, one of the reasons for his team's quick start to the season was they haven't turned over the football yet. Thrown no interceptions, lost no fumbles, whereas they've taken away the ball 5 times this year. Conversely, Linganore, 4 turnovers they have created defensively and don't give the ball up.
Lions in their road white uniforms with the gold and blue helmets, bright yellow and blue helmets. The Lancers of Linganore in their home blacks with the red lettering and the red pants with the white trim. They're going to be kicking off here at home. From right to left, the Lions offense will take over first as we're off and running. The kick is a low line drive. It rolls through the back of the end zone. It's a touchback to start the game as Walkersville goes out to the 20.
Yeah, the kicker for Linganore, Brian Blum, does a great job, gets good depth on the football. That time he chose to keep the ball low and just one-hopped it in the end zone for the automatic touchback.
Here comes the dominant Walkersville offense. They're 2-0 after a 51-0 win against Poolesville. They play in the 2A West Division, ranked 44th in state. They've outscored their 2 opponents 85-14, led by quarterback Gavin Hughes, who is right there in the middle of that huddle. He's bounced around in his high school career, back here at Walkersville, where he's refound his home.
Yep, and good, steady senior leadership. As a high school coach, you can't ask for anything more than that.
As Hughes, wearing that number 10, comes out in the gun with a back to his left. A pair of receivers down left side, takes the snap, hands off right side, off the right tackle, bouncing to the right, and pulled down after a gain of about 3 or 4 is DeMarcus Ross, their junior running back with over 200 yards on the ground in 2 games.
Inside linebacker, number 18, Jason Capone on the tackle there.
Capone, one of the team's leading tacklers this season, so athletic on the outside, able to wrap up the speedy Ross. It is a pickup of 2. A 2nd and 8 coming up on the far side hash mark, working right to left in their road white uniforms. The quarterback Hughes is in the gun. Ross to his left. Hughes a snap, looks left under pressure, slings up the middle. It's incomplete as he was looking for Tristano Minconi, and a long 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, Tristano was settled in that outside zone and just a little too much on the football. Falls incomplete, brings up 3rd and 8. for the Lions.
3rd and 8 for the Lions. Their first possession. We're just underway. 11:20 left in the first quarter. Two undefeated teams, both 2-0. You could argue their first real test this season, as neither has had a lot of problems in their first couple weeks. As Hughes is in the gun. The snap hip high, drops back, faces pressure, keeps it himself up the middle, cuts back to the 30. He's got a first down. Slides forward to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 13 for Gavin Hughes, and he moves the chains.
Yeah, great scramble by Gavin, straight up the middle when pressure coming from the outside. Avoided the initial tackler. Enough for a first down. Ball's resting at the 35.
Hughes this season has now 10 rushing attempts for just over 90 yards, potentially his longest of the season as he comes out in a big formation. Pair of tight ends down. Handoff goes to Ross up the middle. Ross sidesteps back to the left side and is wrapped up after picking up maybe 3. A game tackle from the Lancers.
Yep, right into the heart of that defensive line. That's going to be rough tonight. Led by number 53 there, Alexander Lambert.
And Coach, you brought it up. Both these teams like to rotate their defensive lines, keep their players fresh.
Right now, Linganore showing a 5-man defensive front. A 5-2 look. Linebacker blitz. Oh, through the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle.
Mason Clark all the way up to the 45-yard line. He is close to a first down. And he got it. So they moved the chains. Clark on his first touch moves the chains.
No hesitation. The ball's touching the line. Mason Forrester from his free safety position, a nice solid tackle. Otherwise, there was a little more room to run.
Forrester 9 tackles this year. Speaking of 9, Clark is averaging about 9 yards per touch. That's around what he had there, an 8-yard run. Fumbling the snap is Hughes. He has to make something out of nothing. He runs off the right tackle. May have got back to the line of scrimmage before being wrapped up. A 2nd and 10 coming up from their own 45 for the Lions with 9:45 left in the first.
Yeah, good thinking there by Hughes. He able to pick that bad snap up. Tried to get around the far side. And again, Mason Forrester there to knock him down this time for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, Forrester credited, I believe, with a sack there, with Hughes still the quarterback picking up the fumble. It's a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from their own 44. Hughes in the gun. The snap, the 3-step drop, faces pressure, keeps it himself again, and once again he has room. To the 45, 40, 35 is where he's knocked out of bounds. Picks up about 20 on the scramble, and the Lions are in Lancers territory.
Yeah, the most effective offensive weapon so far tonight for the Lions is the quarterback scramble. You know, and clearly, this is not a designed quarterback draw, Ryan. He is under pressure, steps up, maintains his composure, and good speed, good athleticism down the far sideline.
Hughes now over 100 yards rushing this season. They marked him down at the 38-yard line. Quick snap and a quick throw to the right side. It's caught on the right sideline by Menconi. He gains maybe 6 or 7 before being bumped out of bounds at the 33.
Yep. Leading receiver for the Lions, Tristano. He's a great little athlete on his own, plays also free safety for the Lions when they flip the ball over.
Caleb Arneson with the tackle. The senior now has 4 this season as he brought down Menconi on the far side of the field. A 2nd and about 5 from the 34, it looks like, as Hughes in the gun. The snap, hands off the right side. It's Ross. He cuts back to the middle. He is going to be close to a first down marker. It looks like he got it, picked up 5, and moves the chains.
I'll tell you what, I am impressed so far. The Walkersville offensive line at the point of impact, great contact, staying on their blocks, and just giving enough of a hole for the Walkersville running backs to get to the second level.
1st and 10 inside the red zone at this, it looks like,
Check
or
that,
close
27.
to the red zone. 27, yeah. 1st and 10 from the 27. They're knocking on the door of the red zone. Handoff up the middle to Clark. Hit by the linebacking crew and brought down. Looks like Neil Carter was the first to make a contact with the running back.
Yep, old isolation play that Walkersville runs out of their shotgun formation. Gets a little bit of a fullback lead. A nice push there for a 4-yard gain. And if you're Coach Polis, you're staying on the schedule with the 4- and 5-yard pickups.
Coach, it's what you talked about. They have 3 different running backs, and they like to use them not quite equally, but they all get touches. As Hughes once again in the shotgun far hash mark. This time he hands off to Jordan Bennett. 6'2", 225-pound junior pushes forward, maybe picked up 3. It's going to be 3rd and short from about the, looks like just inside the 20, maybe the 16-yard line for the Lions.
Inside linebacker Carter Neal there on a run blitz for Linganore did hit Jordan in the backfield. He was able to break that contact, fall forward for a couple-yard gain.
Ball on the 21, 3rd and 4, 7:05 left and ticking in the first quarter. First drive of the game for either team. Lions knocking on the door. Let's see what they can do. It goes to Ross up the middle. He cuts back to the right side, to the 10, to the 5, in the end zone. DeMarcus Ross, a touchdown, and the Lions score first.
Wow. Great blocking again. Got clean into the second level. One move and down the far sidelines for Ross for a 21-yard touchdown run.
Ross's 3rd touchdown this season. He had a quiet week by his standards. Last week after a huge week 1 against Liberty, only 39 yards against Poolesville. He might have that already on this opening drive and a touchdown up with the road team on top. Extra point is blocked. So they do not get the extra 1. It is blocked by Linganore, and the Lions will settle for 6. But a positive drive. They score a touchdown on a scamper by DeMarcus Ross. We'll be back with Linganore's offense on Cool Oldies 1450.
Center of Life Chiropractic and Pilates, located on Water Street in Thurmont, serving the community since 1993. Center of Life is dedicated to treating the whole you, and not just your symptoms. Back pain, neck pain, injury, or you just want to improve your mobility and feel healthier. Dr. John Hageman's innovative approach to whole body health is completely unlike anything you have experienced. With convenient hours from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and afternoon hours only on Tuesday from 3 to 7:30 p.m. Center of Life is there for you. Center of Life.
Linganore returning the kickoff from left to right to the sideline. The kick returner is finally pulled down at the 38-yard line. A solid return by Linganore, and they'll start the drive in decent field position at their own 38. That's a mere short with the run back.
A nice kickoff back to the 5, but great blocking right up the middle of the field, and Linganore sets up shop in great field position, as you said, at the 38.
Christian Petrozello leads him on the field, the 6'3", 215-pounder at quarterback, committed to Bucknell, and their deadly running back, Ethan Arneson. 331 yards. Arneson gets the touch, bounces to the outside, and he picked up maybe 3. A solid tackle on the edges by the Lions.
Mason Forrester there as the lead back, leading Ethan through the hole.
That's a big part of the attack, too, for Linganore. They're not just a single back team where they give it to the running back and say, do work. They like to put a full back in front of him in block.
Yep, and then they'll pass out of this formation, as they do right now.
Petrozello under pressure, dumps off to the flat, and is caught by Forrester as he is pulled down near the right sideline, picked up 4 on the play. It's going to be a 3rd and 3 at about the 44-yard line of Linganore. Mason Forrester, his 2nd reception, looked like maybe a blown play as the quarterback Petrozello rolled out and found his fullback.
So they look into the sidelines for the play call.
Big early play here, 3rd and 4 from the 44 for Linganore. They have to reach their own 48 at home, down 6-0 early, and a flag comes out in the snap.
That's a neutral zone violation on Walkersville.
And that will give Linganore the first down. So they move the chains off a penalty, and that's something we mentioned, Coach, at the top. Neither team makes a lot of mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's considered a big one there, a pre-penalty, pre-snap penalty that gives the other team that free first down. Gotta scratch your head if you're the head coach.
5:31 left to go in the first quarter. Walkersville leading 6-0 against Linganore. The Lancers have their first possession of the game. Ethan Aronson already one positive run, looking for a second, takes it off the left tackle, tries to cut back to the middle, pushes a pile forward, maybe gain 4 on the play. A solid run for Aronson, not his typical 8.9 yards per carry, but still positive.
Yep, Kenyon Johnson from his defensive end position riding him to the ground after that gain of 5.
Johnson, the coaching staff says he is a leader of this defense, 6'5" senior, 240 pounds. He definitely hits the weight room, a big guy on that right side of the line. This time it goes to the right side of Aronson. He's got a first down and a little bit more as he pushes forward the 32 of the Lions, picking up maybe 15 on the play, plenty for the first down.
Yeah, you gotta love his patience, the way he just sat behind that line, found that little seam and then explodes all the way down to the Walkersville 32-yard line.
Wyatt Garrett, tackle number 15 for the Lions this season. Garrett's a fun guy. He said prior to the season, we'll get back to the story in just a second, as Linganore is marching 1st and 10 from the 32 of Walkersville, down 6-0. Handoff to Aronson. He tries to cut back up the middle, and it looks like Gerhardt again was there on the tackle. Wyatt Gerhardt was quoted before the season started saying that he believes his team is underrated, and people will find out when the season starts how good they are. Well, it happened that Gerhardt had an 80-yard pick 6 in week 1 and backed up his words.
Yeah, and what's impressive about Walkersville's early 2 games is they've had so many different playmakers. So, yeah, I tend to agree.
Petrozello fakes the handoff to Aronson, lobs it down the right side. He's got a man, and it's incomplete. It falls to the turf at about the pylon as he was looking for Mason Farster down the right side.
Yeah, Mason was looking over his inside shoulder, and the ball floated to his outside shoulder, unable to make the adjustment. Ball drops incomplete, brings up 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9, 3:44 left, maybe 4 down territory. In fact, it almost undoubtedly is. 6-0, Walkersville leading Linganore on the road. 2 teams that are undefeated, 2-0 to start the season. You're going to have to use a scientific calculator to add up the amount of points both these teams scored this season. Their offenses have been incredible. Quick pass out to the flat is to Aronson in space. Cuts back to the middle 30, to the 25, falls forward to about the 22-yard line. It is close to a first down. And we're going to wait and see what the official says. It appears he did get the first down.
Yeah, and it looked like Walkersville had 2 defenders there with their sights right on them, able to elude both of them and pick up just enough yards to move the sticks.
2 methodical drives, first by Walkersville. It resulted in 6 points. A DeMarcus Ross 16-yard touchdown run. And now from the 20, 1st and 10 in the red zone for the Lancers. Down 6-0, 3:15 and ticking in this first quarter. The quarterback Petrozello in the gun. Aronson is lead back behind him. The tight end rotes out left side. Handoff goes to Aronson, spins in the backfield, and he's pulled down by Wyatt Gerhardt. A tackle for a loss of 2.
Great pressure there by Walkersville. Brought it inside linebacker. Got Aronson to change his direction quickly and then gang tackled there for a loss of 2 on the play. Or check the scoreboard saying 3, 2nd and 13.
And a 2nd and 13, ball on the 23. As Linganore has flirted with dangerous 4-down territory. They've been good on 3rd down for the most part.
Watch number 10.
Petrozello hands off to Aronson. He cuts the middle and has some room to the 5. Spins back to the left side and is wrapped up at the 4-yard line. Another big pickup for Ethan Aronson. 16, make that 19 yards all the way down inside about the 5. I think they'll say he's at the 5 or 6.
7.
7, okay.
7, a great run. Saving tackle there by Mason Clark for Walkersville. Otherwise, he's in the end zone.
Ethan Aronson already has 6 touchdowns this season as he almost picked up number 7. We'll see if he can finish off the drive on these next couple of plays. 1st and goal from the 7, under 2 minutes left. Walkersville leading Linganore 6-0. Linganore trying to tie it up. It goes to Aronson, off the right tackle, dives forward to the goal line. Did he get it? Yes, he did. A touchdown for Ethan Aronson, and we are tied at 6.
Yep, Linganore went to a power set, double tight end, full backfield. blockers in front of Arneson. He weaves his way, 7-yard touchdown.
Aronson with a touchdown. After the touchdown from Ross, the two running backs we highlighted at the top have come through. And now Brian Bloom will attempt the extra point and try to give the home team the lead. 6-6, 1:49 left in the first. We're all tied up. The snap, the hold, the kick from Bloom, and it is through. And Linganore takes the 7-6 lead. So both teams, their running backs are the stars, and they show us why. A Ross touchdown for Walkersville, followed by an Aronson touchdown for Linganore. 7-6, Lancers on top on Cool Oldies 14-15.
Football season is here, and that means Friday Night Lights football from Southern PA to Frederick County and beyond. Tune in to watch our live video stream and play-by-play coverage of your favorite high school sports teams on Cool Oldies 1450 THU. Our local American Legion Post 168 in Thurmont is amazing. Not only do they support local high school sports on the radio, but they have great food, great fun, and they constantly serve our community in so many ways. Check out their Facebook page, American Legion Post 168, to find out about their exciting events. And be sure to say thank you for supporting our local community. And don't you forget to say thank you every time you see them for their selfless sacrifice in military service to our country. Thanks, American Legion Post 168. We salute you.
Welcome back to high school football. Cool Oldies 14-50, 7-6. Linganore on top of Walkersville. Both teams put together solid drives as Linganore kicks it off, working from right to left. We have Ross and Bennett back to return. It will be Bennett, the bigger back, to take it. He works on the near hash mark, stumbles at the 20. A flag comes out as he fell down at the 21. We'll see what the call is.
Flag comes in behind the play.
Coach, you were talking about it in the break. You have two teams that are evenly matched, and they almost put together carbon copy drives. The only difference is Linganore capitalized on their extra point while Walkersville didn't.
Yep. After Walkersville breaks Linganore's scoreless season, punching in that nice 80-yard drive, get the extra point blocked, and that could be a big play here by the end of the game.
When you have two teams, says it's a personal foul on Walkersville, so they're going to march that back to about the 9-yard line. When you have two evenly matched teams, every point can make a big difference. And you're right, we'll see how that plays out. 7-6, Lancers lead the Lions. 1:43 left in the first quarter. Big matchup, two undefeated teams, as Walkersville works from right to left in the road white uniforms. Gavin Hughes at quarterback delivered a solid drive, a couple rushes that got first downs from Hughes. This time he hands off the back up the middle, I believe, to Marcus Ross, and he picked up 3, maybe 4 on the play, gets up near the 15-yard marker, probably about the 13.
That
It'll be a second and 6.
Right up the middle in that isolation for a nice 4-yard gain.
They mark him officially at the 14 with 80 seconds left in the first. 7-6, Linganore on top of Walkersville, as Ross had that big 16-yard touchdown run in the first drive, followed up by a 7-yard touchdown run from Ethan Aronson on the first drive for Linganore. Now that inside hash mark, Hughes in the gun with the back to his left, Clark. That's where it goes. Will sweep off the right side. Clark is tackled, but not before he picked up enough for a first down. A gain of 6, and that moves the chains. At least what I thought they did. I'm going to correct myself, a little bit short. I thought I saw the official.
Just a little bit
yeah,
short.
My fault there. I thought I saw the official point downfield.
Right.
It is short. 3rd and 1. It was close to a first down.
Has to get almost to the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
Just shy of the 19 right now.
And it is
So,
a
huge play here for Linganore defense on 3rd and 1.
30 seconds left in the first quarter. Hughes takes the handoff, gives the big back Bennett. He's tough to stop when you only need 2 or 3 yards. That's exactly what he got to move the chains.
Yeah, and Bennett saw that everything was stuffed up off the off-tackle side of things and bounced to the outside, leaned forward, first down Walkersville.
Chase Perry, tackle number 5 this season, pulled him down, and it looks like that will be the last play of an exciting first quarter That saw Walkersville score first. They couldn't complete the extra point. Linganore comes back with a rushing touchdown of their own, and it is 7-6 going to break. You're listening to high school football on Cool Oldies 1450.
Hawkins Landscaping, locally owned and operated, winner 8 years in a row for the best of the best in Frederick County. Hawkins Landscaping is #1 with an array of full landscape site design, lawn maintenance, hardscaping, lighting, drainage, and more. Let our professionally trained staff of certified landscapers transform your landscape from a dream to reality. From the design through construction and into maintenance, Hawkins Landscaping specializes in elegant and inviting outdoor environments. If you are looking to create, upgrade, or revitalize your landscape, call Hawkins Landscaping today at 301-898-3615. That's 301-898-3615. Hawkins Landscaping. When you deserve the best, get the best.
Linganore hosting Walkersville on Cool 80s 1450. Great to have you with us on a Thursday night with Coach Rick Little. I'm Ryan Pierce. And it is Walkersville working from left to right this time. And a long run for Gavin Hughes off the left tackle. He's still going at the 34, maybe the 35, before he's pulled down. So I thought it was Hughes on that quarterback keeper.
You're exactly right. Quarterback run. A designed quarterback run. Gavin Hughes following his running back through the hole off the left side, up in front of the Walkersville bench. A nice gain on the play, moves the ball out to the 35-yard line.
Gavin Hughes showing off his rushing ability. He was a Lions quarterback back in 2021, transferred to St. James and Hagerstown to pursue baseball. That didn't play out, moved to Sherwood High in Sandy Spring, where he won a state title in baseball as Hughes hands it off up the middle and pushed in the backfield and brought down after losing yards is DeMarcus Ross.
Initial point of impact there by number 90, Zachary Barretts. Holds Walkersville to no gain on the play.
And just to finish off our Hughes story, so he went to Sherwood High in Sandy Spring, won a state title for Warriors baseball, and now is back at Walkersville for his final season of eligibility as he's in the gun, running back to his left, 2nd and 10, 11 minutes left to go in this first half, and the play is blown dead. A flag comes out. That is the third today.
Yeah, and just a second before the snap, Walkersville was taken off from the line of scrimmage. Now to push him back 5 yards.
Sounds like it might have been on, if I heard the number correctly, Mason Clark, possibly some illegal motion. Either way, it is a 5-yard loss. 2nd and 15 from their own 30, down 7-6 for Walkersville. Hughes shotgun formation, a pair of receivers off to the right side, including his top target, Manconi. On the far right, that's where he looks. Instead, it goes to the flat. The catch is made, but wrapped up immediately at the line of scrimmage. Now the official says the ball touched the turf. Incomplete, intended for Mason Clark.
Yeah, out of the backfield, Mason Clark. And from his inside linebacker position, Jason Capone there to make the quick hit, knock the ball loose, brings up 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15, the longest third down either team has faced so far. 10:30 left in the first half. 7-6 Lancers leading Walkersville. The Lions, both teams 2-0 this year.
And I was watching Coach Polis over there with quarterback Gavin Hughes. There's not a whole lot in your playbook for 3rd and 15. He was trying to make up his mind, just called timeout, have a discussion with his team.
Hughes went 5 for 5 last week with a touchdown. He was 3 for 9 the week before that. So he has the ability to throw the ball downfield. You don't see it a whole lot from him. Might be one of those plays where you try to get it to your back Ross, or maybe it's a designed quarterback keeper for Hughes.
Well, and one thing that I've been impressed with Gavin here early in the season is his ability to throw the long ball. Has good touch, and maybe Coach Polis is looking for the right matchup. for the fly pattern to try to just flip it down the field.
Well, we'll see as they break huddle. A quick reminder, Thermont Country Kitchen award-winning roasted chicken, tool in hand, ASC certified MD inspections, locally owned since 2013. Ford Service Auto and Truck Repair located off Route 15 at Dillabis Road next to Tractor Supply. 3rd and 15 from their own 30. Hughes drops back, quick pass left side, it's caught at the 40. Spinning, twirling, and falling down at about the 42-yard line, maybe 3 yards short of the first down was the receiver, Mason Clark. The running back was lined up outside. A good play, just short of the first down.
Yeah, a little wheel pattern down the sidelines. He bounced off the defender, but could not stay on his feet. It brings up 4th and 2, and it looks like Coach Polis is keeping his offense on the field.
The way they've run the ball this year, why not? 4th and 2. Major play here in the second quarter. The crowd gets a little bit loud as Hughes is in the gun. The back to his right is a 6'2", 225-pound junior, Jordan Bennett, and now a timeout, the second taken by Coach Polis.
Yeah. And, you know, I was watching Linganore. They were scrambling on defense.
Yeah.
They were not matched up here on the outside. Kind of, I guess Coach Polis couldn't see that from his far sideline. Called the timeout. Play clock was getting low. Could not afford a delay game penalty right there.
What a good-sized crowd we have tonight at Linganore High School. Both bleachers are at least 80% capacity. Gorgeous evening. Lights turned on. Temperatures in the low 70s. You cannot ask for a better night, for a fun matchup here in Frederick County. 4th and 2. Paul on the 43, 9:47 left in the first half. 7-6. Linganore on top. Walkersville trying to get the big first down. It is a quarterback keeper for Hughes. He stood up at the line and pushed back. Hughes still scrambling and finally pulled down at the 30. It's a massive loss of at least 13 yards and a turnover on downs.
Mikey Ayers there, defense. He's the one that made the initial hit. There was no place for Hughes to go. He tried to break that tackle and scramble out, ended up losing about 10 yards on the play. So Linganore, on a big 4th down stop, takes over with the ball on the 31-yard line.
The first defense to make a stand tonight, it is Linganore. And now Walkersville has to try to respond defensively. Great field position for the home team, leading 7-6. 9:38 left in the first half. A quick flip to the outside to Aronson off the left side. He angles towards the sideline, tries to cut back to the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage and pulled down. A flag comes out at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was made by Raquel Evans, a talented 6'1", 220-pound outside linebacker.
Yeah, Walkersville very athletic on the outside at that defensive end and outside linebacker positions. I think they actually induced a holding penalty there. And we'll see, Walkersville does accept a penalty for the 10-yard march off.
So that brings it back to the 41-yard line. So a quick loss after forcing the turnover on downs. Now 1st and 20 from the 41 with 9:30 left in the first half. You mentioned it, Coach. Talented linebackers with speed. Raquel Evans really got out there quickly.
Yep. Cover a lot of ground, make up for a lot of mistakes with that athletic ability.
Petrozello, the Bucknell commit, steps back, lobs it down the right side, one-on-one matchup, and it is incomplete as both the receiver and defensive back battle for the ball in the air. Michael Rollett, the receiver, wanted a pass interference, but it looked like that was a 50-50 ball.
Yep.
Mason Clark went up and knocked it away.
Yeah, and Mason, it looked like he injured himself a little bit on the effort.
His helmet is off, he's walking off the field.
But credit Mason, he was running stride for stride and did elevate for the football. He's coming right, nope, they're checking him out.
May have to come out for one play. Jackson Mazzocco comes in for him. It's a long 2nd and 20. The quarterback keeper from Petrozello. He angles left side and is tackled at the 35, maybe the 34-yard line. As the newly inserted Mazzocco was in on the tackle.
I'm going to credit Patrick Ward on that tackle, middle linebacker position. And that was a design quarterback draw. Snap to Christian, 1,001, 1,002 count, and he took off behind his running back, Arneson. Short gain on the play brings up 3rd and 13 for the Lancers.
long third down for the Lancers. 8:35 left in the first half. 7-6. Lancers leading the Lions, and now a timeout is taken by Linganore, their first today, as the Lions have taken 2. 7-6, big play, 3rd and 13. We'll take a break. We'll come back with it on Cool Oldies, 1450.
Kelco Plumbing and Backhoe Service LLC is conveniently located at 108 North Carroll Street in Thurmont, with over 40 years of experience in the plumbing industry, celebrating its 10th year serving our community, specializing in all phases of plumbing, including septic installation and repair. The favorite part of our job is meeting new people and knowing that we helped. Kelco Plumbing prides itself on a job well done, with pricing that won't flood your budget. Burst pipes, water damage, clogged drains, replacement, remodel, or upgrades. Kelco Plumbing services most major fixtures, faucets, water heaters, sump pumps, and well pumps and pressure tanks. Kelco Plumbing is certified and licensed in Maryland and Pennsylvania. Call them today.
Back of Cool Oldies, 1450, big 3rd and 13 for Linganore. Throwing down the left side, Petruzzello. He's looking for his man in the end zone, and it's incomplete. The receiver went up, had the ball in his hands for a second. It was Matthew Hopman. And when he came down, it popped out. And a 4th and 13 coming up from the 34.
And Matthew might have knocked the wind out of himself a little bit when he came down. He's gingerly coming to the sidelines.
Hopton had a defender riding on his left hip, went up for the deep high pass from Petrozzolo, who's got a great arm, put it in the right spot, just was a tough play to make, and it fell incomplete. Okay, 4th and 13, no man's land. Looks like Petruzzello and company are going to go for it. Up 7-6, 8:24 left in the first half.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Too far for a field goal, too close to punt.
Near hash mark, 34-yard line. Petruzzello on the gun, 3 receivers to the right. The snap has time, steps up, throws left, 50-50 ball back of the end zone, and it is intercepted in the back corner of the end zone. It actually would have probably been advantageous to knock it down, but if you're a high school player, get that pick, add it to your stats, as it was pulled in by Sasu.
Yep. Jason, great coverage. I agree with you, Ryan. I think the coach might talk to him about, great interception, but 4th down, knock it down.
Sure.
Would have brought the ball out to the 30-yard line. Walkersville takes over on the 20, so 2 big defensive stops. First Linganore on 4 downs, and there Walkersville answers with an interception on 4th down.
So now Walkersville takes over from their own 20. And if you are Petruzzello, you might as well give that to a heave to the end zone and see what happens. There's no point in throwing something incomplete there. Just go for the touchdown. That's what he did. Turns out to be a pick. Smart play, better defensive play. Handoff goes to the outside to Ross. Ross almost broke into the open field, dragged down at about the 28-yard line. He's close to the first down marker. As Ross, strong gain of 8 on the far side.
Wow, so strong. Bounced off the initial pile of defenders. Bounced to the outside, down the far sideline in front of the Walkersville bench. And free safety, Forrester asked to make another touchdown-saving tackle.
Mason Forrester, already 2 tackles, and you're right, both of them may have been touchdown-saving because there is nobody behind Forrester on that far side. A 2nd and 2, 7:30 left, 7-6 Linganore on top of Walkersville. Walkersville working left to right in their road white uniforms. This time the ball goes to the Mason Clark. The back off the left side. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Does not get the first down. A team tackle from Linganore pulls him down short. I think he may have gotten back to the line, maybe gained half a yard there up to the 29.
A very manageable 3rd and long 1, maybe 2.
We saw DeMarcus Ross touch it on first down, Mason Clark on 2nd. On 3rd and 1, I would think Jordan Bennett, a 6'2", 225-pounder, will get a look.
And you're exactly right. Jordan's in the backfield.
In the I formation, this time Hughes, the senior quarterback, comes out under center. Big formation. Hughes turns and hands off the belly of the running back Bennett. He pushes and presses forward, picked up 2 before being pulled down about at the hips. Again, Mason Forster appeared to be in on the tackle, and that moves the chains.
Yep, and that's Coach Polis's bread and butter right there. The isolation play where the lead fullback just ISOs on a linebacker. Tailback follows him through the hole. Nice gain there for first down. Move the chains.
Tried and true when it's 3rd and short. Type of play you go to. Hughes comes out, fresh set of down, 6:22 left, down 7-6, 1st and 10 on 32. This time it's an option. He keeps it into the running back, and Ross was hit in the backfield and pulled down. I believe that was Ross. Yes, he got first time for negative yards today.
Yeah, Giacomo McCadney there, his nose guard position into the backfield. Wrestled him down for a loss of 2.
McCadney is 3rd tackle for loss. Interesting player. He plays both as a nose guard and a running back / wide receiver. You don't see that too often. Here's Hughes, this time with the shotgun, back to his left side. Hughes low snap, plucks it off the turf, throws left side, battle for the ball, falls incomplete at the 40. He was looking for Manconi.
Yeah, and the pass broken up there by number 27, Chase Perry, quickly on the out and knocked the ball away from Tristano.
3rd and 12, their own 30-yard line, 5:37 left in the first half, 7-6 Linganore leading Walkersville. As the crowd gets into it on 3rd down, Linganore trying to the Lions in their own territory. Hughes in the shotgun, he's got Jordan Bennett to his right, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Hughes drops, lobs it down the right side, over the top of everybody, incomplete, and the Lions will be forced to punt.
Just a little too quick on that release there. Sassoon, not enough time to run 35 yards down the field.
Sassoon was the target, and he was probably at about the 40-yard line of Linganore when the ball fell harmlessly to the turf at about the 37. So it will be a punt. Gavin Hughes, known for his arm, going to test his leg as the punter.
Yeah, and Walkersville's got to be really careful because Linganore comes after punts. They blocked some already this season.
Hughes at the 18, takes a snap, does have time, and gets it away. It's a good one. Booming kick down to the 30. It is fielded and a missed tackle. The return to the 35, far sideline, 40. Lunges forward to the 43 before being wrapped up. A 8, maybe 9-yard return up to the 41 of Linganore with 5:21 left in the first half.
Carter Neal, the inside linebacker that we called a few times already tonight, is the punt returner there for Linganore. Some terrific athletes on both these squads.
Carter Neal, he has an interception, leads the team in tackles, 2nd in sacks. He also, as you mentioned, Coach, returns punts. Very versatile player. We'll get a nice break. We'll be calling his name, I'm sure, on defense later on as Petrozello comes out in the gun pistol formation, and it's a fumble as he tried to hand off to Aronson, picked up by Petrozello, but he's pulled down right away in the backfield by Wyatt Gerard.
Yep. Just a miscommunication there. Christian turned to hand it off. Ethan was already past him. Ball dropped to the ground, and Walkersville into the backfield to drop him for a 3-yard loss.
2nd and 13, 4:55 left in the first, 7-6. Linganore on top of Walkersville. Linganore ball working right to left. Middle of the field. In the gun, Petrozello. It looks like Walkersville's going to blitz. Petrozello hands off to the back. Aronson can't find anything up the middle. Tries to needle his way right side. Pulled down after a gain of 1, maybe 2.
Andrew DeRemus there from his nose guard position makes the play on Ethan. Holds him for a gain of 1. Brings up 3rd and 12.
DeRemus, his 2nd tackle this year, 3rd and 12. Their own 41 for Linganore, up by 1, 4:15 left in the first half. It is Petrozello in the gun, his back, Aronson to his left, a pair of receivers left, a pair down to the near side, the left side as well. 3rd and long, Petrozello, time in the pocket, nobody open, tries to scramble, under pressure, keeps it himself, lobs to the right side, it is caught in the territory of Walkersville, the 39-yard line before the receiver went out of bounds.
Yeah, impressive play by the quarterback, Christian Petrozelli. Maintained his composure and continued to look downfield. Did you catch that number on the receiver,
I was trying to get the number.
Ryan?
I believe it was Pete. I didn't get the number, though.
Yeah.
the way, it's a first down. 1st and 10, 39-yard line of Walkersville. Big play on 3rd down. This time Aronson into the open field, past the back line, 15-10. He is gone to the house. The 2nd touchdown for Ethan Aronson today. This one from 39 yards out. It's 13-6. Lancers on top.
Wow, that didn't take any time at all for him to cover that 32 yards. Avoided the first tackler into the 2nd level, and it was over.
Ethan Aronson, 2 touchdowns, and the home team, the Lancers, by 7, 13-6 with the extra point coming up. Coach, you're right. He was off after he beat that initial line of defense. The safeties had split out as the kick is through from Brian Blum, the place kicker. So the Lancers, after converting on a long 3rd down, a 39-yard touchdown run from Ethan Aronson, his 8th this season to put the home team up 14-6.
At Thurmont Country Kitchen, one recent diner summed it up perfectly.
This place is so good, the words are hard to find. It's a wonderful small-town diner with awesome food and great service.
Thurmont Country Kitchen is located on Water Street in downtown Thurmont. Open weekdays 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Remember when Grandma used to say, if you're looking for a great restaurant, follow the locals, and that's exactly what you'll find. A wonderful mixture of out-of-town guests, travelers up and down Route 15, and the locals who love Country Kitchen's award-winning roasted chicken. Homemade cooking at its finest, with lots of sweets and goodies at the counter to go. Country Kitchen is a great place for birthday parties, meetings, or just to take the family out.
As Walkersville trails,
got to cover it.
3:45 fumble on the kick return. It's still on the turf. Who's got it? Is it going to be the Lancers or the Lions? The Lions recover. Ooh, that could have been a disaster for Walkersville.
Yeah, short kick, took some weird hops. 2 Walkersville Lions trying to cover it. I believe DeMarcus Ross did end up covering the ball and took a few knees to the ribs there as everybody piled on to try to gather in that loose football.
So let's reset. Ball on the 13-yard line, their own 13. Walkersville down 14-6, 3:43 left, and Linganore gets the ball to start the 2nd half. So Walkersville really has just over 3.5 minutes to go, almost the whole length of the field.
And 1 timeout.
Yeah, that's true too. See what Gavin Hughes can cook up on the near side hash mark. He's got DeMarcus Ross, their 1st down, back to his right. Hughes in the shotgun. The snap is good. Hughes keeps himself, runs off the right tackle, angles towards the sideline, and is pushed out of bounds after a gain of 3.
And importantly, stops the clock, though it was a short gain, but the key is seconds not clicking off the clock as they bring in the next play.
The legs of Gavin Hughes may be the most effective offensive weapon so far for Walkersville. It's 2nd and 7 from their own 16-yard line. Down 14-6 are the Lions to the Linganore Lancers. A battle of 2 undefeated teams. Both of them 2-0. Both of them have been extremely good offensively this season, and combined they've only given up 14 points.
Yep.
At least entering tonight.
And here's a 3rd and final timeout.
A timeout taken by Walkersville. They take it with 2nd and 7 on their own 16. The play clock was ticking down. 3:04 left to go in the 1st half.
Yeah, just, one thing as I watch the quarterback run to the sideline at the end of every play for Walkersville to get the play and then run all the way back into the huddle. If Coach Poles doesn't make a quick decision on that offensive play call,
it's not much time.
Your quarterback's behind the 8 ball, and that, boom, your 3rd and final timeout of the half. And that could be critical because Walkersville does not want to give the ball back to Linganore because, as you said, Linganore receiving the 2nd half, you can't let them get their hands on the ball, score here, and then get the kickoff
And that might be the better point at we're at right now. Walkerville isn't thinking touchdown. They're thinking, let's just get to halftime down by 8. That's going to be tough as Gavin Hughes is under pressure and he's sacked in the backfield. Loses 5, pulled down at the 8-yard line. And it's going to be a 3rd and very long with the clock ticking at 2:50 left to go in the first half.
Yep, McCadney and Capone there to combine on that sack.
McCadney, his 4th sack this season. And now it is a 3rd and 14. Clock still ticking at 2:30. Down 14-16 is Walkersville. They're on their own 9-yard line. And the Lancers have a couple timeouts to play with. They've got 2. See if they stop the clock after this play. Gavin Hughes in the gun, Ross to his left side, and now a flag comes out.
Delay of game.
Delay of game, yep. So this brings Walkersville back to the 4-yard line. Dangerous spot. 3rd and 19. You really are pressing your luck if you go for a pass here.
Yeah, can't afford a penalty in the end zone. Gavin cannot be knocked down in the end zone. Yeah, high risk play right here.
3rd and 18 from the 4-yard line with 2:14. Lancers on top of the Lions. Lions in a tough spot. The handoff goes a little end around. Battling for a few extra yards is the back, and he's pulled down after maybe 2 or 3. In fact, I think he just got back the line of scrimmage, and that will lead to a punt.
Yeah, big defensive end, Joseph Reed there waiting on that running back. They tried an inside reverse, and Reed was not fooled, stayed home, dropped them for another loss, and Lincoln quickly used their 2nd timeout of the first half. Save a little bit of that. It looks like Walkersville's going to be standing on the end line to kick this football.
Linganore has 1 timeout. Walkersville's going to be kicking from their own end zone. They'll be kicking from left to right. Down 14-6, 2:07 left, and Linganore can really deliver a big blow before halftime.
Yeah. One thing I learned from Coach Polis is never want to go down 3 scores in high school football. That seems to be the magic number of almost no return.
And if Linganore can get a quick touchdown, they get the ball first, they have a chance to go up by 3 scores before Walkersville even touches the football game.
Exactly right.
Okay, here comes the punt from Gavin Hughes. Had a really good one in the early 2nd quarter. This one's to about the 40-yard line where the return man takes it 35-30. Actually about 35-yard line is where he's wrapped up. And that is where Linganore will start their drive. From the 35-yard line, 1st and 10, 1:55. On the near side hash mark, the Lancers working right to left in their home black uniforms with the red pants. Take over to try to make it a 2-score game.
Yep, and 1 timeout. So time's really not a factor right now if you're the Lancers.
Petrozello in the gun, the snap, hands off Aronson up the middle, tries to angle back to the left side, and he is dragged down by 6 Markel Evans. He's been all over the field today, maybe picked up 1.
Yep, outside linebacker Evans closed that gap and wrapped up Aronson quickly.
95 seconds left in the first half. 2nd and 9, ball on their own 34, up 14-6. Petrozello gets the play call from the sideline, and now turns back against a big defensive line of scrimmage, 3 down linemen. There are 8 in the box. Petrozello keeps it himself up the middle, bounces left side, stumbles towards the 5-yard line, close to a 1st down marker.
Looks like he's about a half a yard shy of the yard to gain for a 1st down.
Petrozello just missed it. It'll be 3rd and about 18 inches from the 25-yard line. 55 seconds left to go. In the first half, Petrozello under a quarterback keeper. He presses forward, picks up 2 to move James.
Uses that big 6'3" frame and just falls forward for the yardage needed.
The Bucknell commit. You can see Brian Blum, the place kicker, warming up on the sideline, stretching, knowing his mighty corner in just a minute. 40 seconds. 1st and 10 from their own 24, working right to left. Petrozello with a 14-6 lead. The Lancers in the gun snap. Looks left, now right. Nowhere to go. Under pressure. Gets away from Evans. Throws it to the sideline. Incomplete. Raquel Evans almost gets the sack. Petrozello was able to get away.
And very smart, able to unload the football, throw it out of bounds, save the yardage, and save the clock.
Stops at 28. and it's not a because he was outside of the box right there.
Sets him up in a nice, manageable 2nd and 5.
Quick pass to the right side. It's caught at the line of scrimmage. Receiver bolts up to about the 30 as Gavin Hughes, I believe, found Tristan Merconi on the far side of the field out to the 30. And it is good enough for a first down. The second reception from Tristano Merconi tonight, the 5'9" senior.
Yep. Quick pitch and catch to Merconi there, and he just puts on the jets, picks up the yardage needed for the first down.
1st and 10 from the 30. Clock ticking, 8:40 left in the third. 28-6. Linganore on top of Walkersville. The Lions working right to left. Gavin Hughes on the far side hash mark. Play is blown dead. It looks like there may have been possibly a legal motion and offsides on Walkersville. Yep, that's a call.
Start.
So that brings the Lions back to the 25. Now 1st and 15 from that spot on the far hash mark. 2 undefeated teams. Only 14 points allowed in 2 games coming in. Linganore had not allowed a score, and Walkersville scored right away.
Right on the very first possession. But since then, impressed with Linganore defense. If they made adjustments, whatever they're doing, they're kind of controlling the line of scrimmage right now.
Hughes, shotgun formation, back to his right. Hughes keeps it himself. He follows the back. Bennett tripped up in the backfield, and he is sacked, pulled down at the ankles on the far side.
Yeah, designed quarterback run to the short side of the field, and there was no room, and Hughes actually slid to the turf to protect himself.
Couldn't get the name of who made the play, but it is 2nd and 18 from the 22. 7:40 left in the third. Linganore on top of Walkersville, 28-6. Going back to that point, Coach, we talked about it. Linganore's got a lot of veterans, senior loaded team, and it shows on the field.
Timeout, Walkersville.
Walkersville takes their first timeout of the second half. Makes sense. I mean, you really need to score on this possession. This is a tough one. We'll come back with it on Cool 80s, 14:50.
Center of Life Chiropractic and Pilates, located on Water Street in Thurmont, serving the community since 1993. Center of Life is dedicated to treating the whole you, and not just your symptoms, back pain, neck pain, injury, or you just want to improve your mobility and feel healthier. Dr. John Hageman's innovative approach to whole body health is completely unlike anything you have experienced. With convenient hours from 9 a.m.
Back on Cool Oldies 14:50, a fumble in the backfield, and it is picked up by Walkersville at the 14-yard line. 28-6, 7:10 left to go in the third quarter. Linganore against Walkersville. Now a long third down and a mile, 3rd and 26.
Yeah, Linganore pass rush knocked the ball away from Gavin, and Achilles Whitby alertly covered that ball. Big loss on the play, though. Sets up 3rd and long.
3rd and 26. And a tough spot for Gavin Hughes and company. Not a lot of plays in the playbook here. Hughes steps back, rolls to his right, and the ball comes out. It's a fumble on the sack. Looks like Walkersville may have lost it. Picked up by Linganore inside the 10 as Hughes goes down. The sack, fumble, and the recovery from the Lancers.
Huge play again, created by the Linganore Lancer defense. A little bit of pressure, and Gavin tried to step up. Ball dropped to the turf. 1st and goal with a 9.
And now Christian Petrozello and company come out with 6:35 left in the third, trying to deliver a potential death blow. Aronson hit at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. Looked like Patrick Ward was in on the play. Maybe Andrew Duramas as well. I think Kenyon Johnson, also good pressure for Walkersville. 2nd and 9. It looks like the back Arneson was able to reach the line of scrimmage. 6:05 remaining in the third quarter.
Walkersville staying in their base 3-4 defense here.
Petruzzello's got a tight end on the left side. Back behind him, pair of receivers split off either side. It goes to Arneson, straight up the middle. Arneson lowers his shoulder, dives forward, past the goal line. It's his 5th touchdown today, his 3rd in the third quarter, and 34-6. The Lancers are starting to cruise up by 28.
Just too strong up the middle. That offensive line for Linganore.
Ethan Arneson entered the game with 6 touchdowns. He now has 11. And Brian Blum is on for the extra point with 5:49 left in the third. And he is 5 for 5 today on EPs. 3 touchdowns to open the third quarter off of a pair of fumbles from Walkersville. Linganore leading 35-6 on Cool Oldies 1450.
Catoctin Cougars, Fairfield Knights, Walkersville Lions. Our coverage of local high school sports is #1 in the region. Just check out our schedule on our website, WTHUradio.com. Click on the sports broadcast schedule to find out when your favorite team is playing right here on Cool Oldies 1450 THU.
The great folks of Kemar Fertilizer honor our fighting men and women of the military and all of the veterans who have gone before you. We salute you and thank you for your sacrifice. We understand freedom comes with a price. Thank you for serving our country and defending our freedoms. Our prayers go with you and your families. Stay safe, stay strong, and may God bless America. This is a military tribute from Kemar Fertilizer. We live in the land of the free. Thanks and praise.
Welcome back to Cool Oldies 1450. Linganore 35-6 lead against Walkersville. A battle of 2 undefeated teams. Right now, Linganore is controlling this third quarter. As it's returned by Cam Scarborough, or excuse me, that was actually Jordan Bennett. And he picked it off the turf, maybe got out 3 before being tackled at 26.
A big collision there on the return. Jordan able to hang the football through.
So let's see if Walkersville can maybe have positive plays, work their way, and try to get a score down 35-6.
At this point in the game, you just need some positive things to happen for your team. Try to build a little bit of momentum.
Got off to a quick start. They were up 6-0, 5 unanswered from Linganore. And now Gavin Hughes looking for positivity, runs it off on left tackle, angles towards the sideline where he is bounds as he was pushed out by Chase Perry.
Yeah, Ross off the left side, bounces it outside, and just was out of room, steps out of bounds right in front of the Linganore bench. Gain of 2 on the play.
2nd and 8 from the 28. 35-6, Linganore leads Walkersville with 5:40. Clock stopped in the third. Coach, looking at Walkersville tonight offensively, what made that first drive outside of just ball security much different than everything since?
And another Walkersville timeout.
Lions take their 2nd timeout.
And we'll stay with you. The only thing is the same plays. Same L mix. I think Linganore maybe just got caught on their heels a little bit. Maybe didn't expect Walkersville to come and smash mouth them like they did. But since then, we talked about, after it was an 80-yard drive over about 5.5 minutes. Impressive drive.
Sure.
But since then, Linganore defense has pretty much owned the game.
Listen to high school football on Cool Oldies 1450. And Ethan Arneson has also owned the game on the offensive end. Really, we haven't seen Christian Petruzzello. He had 1 deep pass about 40 yards. I believe, late in the first half that almost led to a score. No, to start the second half.
Yeah.
That did lead to a score, but otherwise it's been Arneson on the ground. A little dual handoff off the reverse, and it's fumble, and see who picks it up in the backfield. It is going to go to Linganore. The 3rd fumble of this second half. That was self-inflicted, and it was picked up by the Linganore defense. Zachary Betteridge scooped up.
Yeah, they tried that double reverse handoff from Ross to Sassu, and it just not handled, hit down, and I could be wrong, but it looked like Carter Neal, covered for the Lancers.
Yeah, Carter Neal. I thought it was Beatrice at first. Carter Neal recovers the fumble. So up by 29 with 5:30 left in the third, and the Lancers now take timeout. They are in great position. The third fumble will be clear. We'll be back with their drive in the 24 on Cool Oldies 14:50.
Hawkins Landscaping, locally owned and operated, winner 8 years in a row for the best of the best in Frederick County. Hawkins Landscaping is #1 with an array of landscape design, lawn maintenance, parking, lighting, drainage, and more. Let our professionally trained staff of certified landscapers transform your landscape from a dream reality. From the design through construction and into maintenance, Hawkins Landscaping specializes in elegant and inviting outdoor environments. If you are looking to create, upgrade, revitalize your landscape, call Hawkins Landscaping today. 301-898-3615. That's 301-898-3615.
Listen to high school football on Cool Old 1450. Linganore up 5-6. Petrozello looking down to the end zone, and he overthrows his target by maybe half a foot. Looking for Mace Foster streaking up the right side.
And a flag on the field, holding Linganore.
Now matter for the catch. The third holding call in the game. And it's dropped back to about the 37-yard line, I believe. It's a long first down, 5:30 left.
And we have a player down here at the end of the field.
And
officials timeout for
Walkersfield player is down behind the, and now he's being helped up and moving well. That's a positive sign. I'll get a number for you in just a second.
has the jog leg.
Sure. Back defending on the play. And he appears to be solid. That's good. That's a positive. In fact, I think that play stays like even better news.
No, he'll have to go off for at least one. It's the game for you.
Mason Urugi, I believe, a player who will likely come back in wearing number 19. That sign, I think he'll just fine. Petrozello, a first and 1 from 4 Walkersville near hash mark to snap. Short drop back, lobs to Aronson out of the backfield. That sideline, he's hit up of 13. All the way up to the 26-yard line. The wrap-up pulled him down after the game.
Patrick
say he stepped out.
Is in side position. Out to cover Ethan in the flats and wrestle him.
So Ward makes the tackle. It was just a gain of 8. They say Arneson stepped out at the 26. So 2nd and 12 from the 26 of Walkersville. In the near hash mark, Petrozello snap, steps back, looks left, nobody there, keeps it himself, rolls out to the left, still behind the line of scrimmage. He just chucks it out of bounds as the defender was barreling down on him in the backfield.
Word again from his linebacker position team. Excuse me, when Quinn scrambled to his left, Word like a jet